What is going on, everybody? Chris Dennert, Dugout Mugs. We're waiting. We got a nice guest coming on tonight. We try to jump on. We try to bring some cool, fun content to, all of our fans and our followers and our customers. You guys have supported us in an incredible way. And we love to do that in return. And we have access to some really cool people. And one of my favorite people is coming on with me in just a second. Let me go ahead and see if we can get him logged in here. And then we're going to go live with my man, Wade Boggs. And there's some fun stories we can talk about there. Let's see. Perfect. Here we go. All right. So without further ado, one of my favorite people, somebody we've actually had a chance to meet many, many years ago from the area. Kind of embraces what we're all about with Dugout, and a little bit of beer, a little bit of baseball, a lot of fun, and just living an experiential kind of dream that we have going on here. And from an experiential side, Wade's got some really cool stories. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring him on, and we're gonna learn about some of them. So there he is.
How we doing?
What's up, man?
Not a lot, man. Just get my sea legs from Costa Rica back. Boy, that was fighting giant tarpon and 3 to 5 foot seas is kind of rough. It's not like fighting the Sunshine Skyway, that's for sure.
What's the biggest one y'all hooked into?
180. Yeah, we had a couple of guys had never caught a tarpon before. Caught 180-pound tarpon, and
we'll never be able to catch another one.
Oh no. Silver King Lodge in Costa Rica. If you like tarpon fishing, that's the place to go.
You know who was talking? We had him on. Some of you probably know. Pete Alonso was on, and he has a guy out of Tampa that's his name's Trey Rod or something like that, and he's a tarpon guy and a guide over there in the area. And Pete's like, dude, if you go fishing, you gotta give him a shout. So I've not been out in a while, man. Pandemic, that's the perfect time to go fishing when everything was all shut down.
Tarpon season's coming up. It's in May, beginning of June. Yeah, they'll be stacked up at Egmont and the bridge, Sunshine Skyway. So,
dude, you know what I saw on? So I had a chance. I was at your house for a couple hours the other day. Got a chance. You showed me around some of the trophy, stuff that you had in there. You had like 4 marlins, right, in your living room.
Well, I have the Billfish Royal Slam. So that's all the marlin, all the sailfish, and swordfish and spearfish. So, yeah, I've caught all the marlin.
Any fishermen or fisherwomen out there? Throw some comments in there. Oh, speaking of comments, so one of the things we're doing, we have some autograph stuff. I got a couple rookie cards autographed by Wade. We're giving them away. Some of the stuff we're going to be giving away to people who share. So whether you're on Twitter or LinkedIn or anywhere else, share. We're going to be randomly picking people to win just some autograph swag, just because that's just fun. So why not? But the reason we're here also is we did a collaboration. So I just put it at the bottom there. So if y'all are interested, check out dugoutmugs.com/Wade Boggs. We had a whole collection of autographed mugs. There you go. So we have Red Sox, we have Yankees, and we have my favorite, the Tampa Bay Rays, our local team. But check those out. We have
hotter than a $2 pistol.
There you go, dude. And there's not a lot of them. Like, we didn't spend a lot of. It was 30 maybe of each one. So Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays fans. I think they're $100. Great deal. Signed by Wade. We had a lot of fun. I got some pictures of us doing it. So if you ever want any of those, we can send those to you as well. So let's dig into a few things. First things first, I'm going to have a beer because I think it just makes sense with this particular interview, because some of the things we're going to be discussing are surround beer and baseball. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. If anybody else is having a beer, post and tag us in a comment. We'll probably share it just for fun, because why not? And we're going with PBR. Wait, you got a PBR over there? I had a feeling. Perfect.
Cool Blue.
Well, tell me about that, because I've seen a few posts about that. Tell me the story with Cool Blue, because you told me at the house, and yeah, like I didn't even know anything about that. So I guarantee most of these people don't.
What a cool ad campaign PBR came up with. I had said that back in 1983 that Cool Blue looks like Wade Boggs, and they ran with it. And so I'm trying to get the truth out of PBR to admit that for all these years, they've used a likeness of me as their cool blue character. So we're still digging. And,
there's something coming around about that. I've heard a little bit more chatter. You were saying that there's some fun projects coming up with that too.
Yeah. There's going to be some. We're leaking a little bit out here and there, but the numbers don't lie. When you add it all up, it Boggs is cool blue.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, so what I did is I started grabbing a handful of comments, because if we're going to be doing an interview, like, let's talk about what some of these people are asking about. One of the most common, got to tell me a story about the nickname Chicken Man, right? Like there's all this tale and this lore about it, but like we're getting it from the source. So what's the story with Chicken Man?
Well, back in 1983, my wife collaborated with my mother and grandmother to write a cookbook, and it was called Foul Tips. And so in order to do that and push all the sales and various things like that, most of it went to charity, but I had to have chicken every day. So that turned into a superstition, and Jim Rice, who labeled me the Chicken Man.
I love Jim.
So he was the originator of that nickname, and it's stuck ever since, because it was one of my top superstitions. About every day I had to have chicken, so it was it fit right in.
Dude, that's a hell of a cool name for a cookbook. Foul Tips.
Oh yeah,
that's amazing. That's a great kind of like spin on it.
There you go.
And Jim Rice, by the way, I've had a chance to meet him a handful of times at Big Poppy's event, and he's a nice guy, man.
Absolutely.
Actually, I think I got a Jim Rice right there. Jim Rice, 2009 Hall of Fame. I like him. He was cool. I didn't know he was behind the name though.
Oh yeah, he's the one that originated it, and great teammate, and I was really happy that eventually he got into the Hall of Fame, and couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, speaking of teammates, that's, again, like, this is some of the stuff that we always like to ask. Like, give us like a couple, maybe one or two of your favorite teammates, and then why? Because I know you played for a while, so you got a lot of guys to choose from. But did anybody stand out?
Oh, a lot of guys stood out. Actually, I played with my wingman, Spike Owen. I played with him in Boston and New York, which is very rare for a third baseman to change teams and all of a sudden your shortstop follows you. But another guy in New York was Jimmy Key. We'd go up to British Columbia and we'd hunt together and go down to the Keys and fish together. I've Mike Stanley, catcher for the Yankees. We do a lot of fishing together down in the Keys. So majority of the guys that hang out with either hunt or fish. So that's the telltale right there.
That's probably the group I'd be with anyway. So what about like just pure talent? Like so my business partner Randall is a ball player. You know, he was in high A ball and everything. He said some people, you just see them and it's unbelievable how the raw talent that they have, and you just know that they're going somewhere and they're gonna be super special. And you know, I heard stories about Mike Trout when he was super young, and like people just knew. Is there anybody that really stands out from a pure talent standpoint that you remember looking at? I mean, you're a Hall of Famer, that you looked at and you're like, damn, this guy's legit.
Well, when I was the assistant GM for the Rays in 2000, I went to Charleston and saw an 18-year-old. Oh goodness sakes, is Josh Hamilton. And he was 18 years old, and I saw him for 5 games and filled out the report. Normally you have to fill out a report. Does he have a 65 arm or 70 power or various things like this? And all I put in the report to Chuck Lamar was he should be in the big leagues tomorrow. That's how good he was. He was 18 years old, and I was blown away.
Just throwing gas.
He was unbelievable. He was a legit 5-tool guy. I mean, super power, speed, and could play center field like nobody's business.
He was Rangers, wasn't he? Hamilton.
he started in Tampa Bay and then got in the accident in spring training, and then things started to spiral out of control after that. But he went to Texas, went to Cincinnati.
I think I remember him.
But he was something else. He was a treat to watch.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, let me see here. A lot of people are asking about the whole story about the beers on the plane. We're gonna come to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that towards the end because I think that's gonna be a fun story. Here was one. Obviously, well, let's do this. Let's give away an autograph card. Let's just do that. So I have a few questions that I already have the answers to. So I'm gonna just throw it across the bottom of the screen. Everybody just start commenting the right answer, and I'm gonna pick one of the right answers, and I'm gonna give you a card. So let's go to, there you go. Of the 3,010 hits, how many were home runs? Wade, do not share the answer. I know you know it. And I know everybody's going to be Googling, so I guess whoever's got the fastest Google fingers, I'm going to give it about a minute, and then I'm going to start picking somebody. Okay, so as one of the best hitters, that has played, what pitcher did you just have dialed in? Like you love to see him on the mound because you knew you had his number.
Well, there were a few guys. I would say Bobby Witt was probably one of them. Dave Stewart, Brett Saberhagen. I think I was over 400 against him.
That's serious.
But for all the guys that you have like that, there are your nemesis, and they've got your number. Yeah, I mean, anybody on any given day, I mean, you could sit there and have 3 hits off of a guy one week and then go to their park and you face him again and you're 0 for 4. So, yeah. I mean, it's not like that.
Well, they're pros.
It's baseball. And
yeah, they're pros. They're professional players. Like, I get
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And with all the sabermetrics nowadays, they know how to get everybody out. So that's the crazy part about that.
Yeah, I remember first time we met, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago at the governor's dinner. And this is right when a lot of all these, the Moneyball style stuff, all the metrics, all the spin rates and the launch angles and the velos and everything was coming out. And your perspective on it was exactly what I thought it would be, right? You're an old school ball player, right? And then like all this new stuff that was coming out. And I hear it because we've had the blessing of like chatting with some legends, right? Mariano Rivera and Pudge Rodriguez and guys like this, and then some newer guys as well coming on and chatting, and just the perspective of it all is really interesting, and the contrast. Like, what do you think? Are you just are you a traditionalist when it comes to the game, and you wish they would just like leave it alone, or do you enjoy some of this new stuff that they're rolling out?
Well, in my opinion, don't reinvent the wheel. It's a wonderful game. It's pure. And so now they want to speed it up with pitch clocks and various things like this, and the ghost runners in the 10th inning. So you're trying to reinvent the game and make it more exciting. The game's exciting enough. You're going to have your 1-0 games. You're going to have your blowouts. And so it's basically every game's like a fingerprint. They're all different, and you just can't sit there and label it like when the time runs out, whoever's ahead wins. That's just not how it happens. And now I'm pretty sure that my 33 inning classic in 81 with Rochester and Cal Ripken is going to be safe because when you have the ghost runner in the 10th inning, games don't last very long anymore. No. And according to a lot of ballparks, the beer sales are down because the games are going too fast.
I saw that. Well, just concessions across the board. And there were some players that had some opinions about that. They said, well, then they're going to extend it 1 inning. Well, that's going to put people drinking later, which is not as safe for them out and about after they leave, which that's a real concern, right?
Exactly.
That's a legitimate concern, because they're trying to cram it all in. I went to opening day in Tampa, and normally I'll go 7th inning or something. I'll beat the traffic and hop out of there. Man, that game was like this.
Yeah.
It was 2 hours and 15 minutes, man. It was
Don't blink,
crazy.
it's over. Don't blink, it's over.
I'll tell you, it was interesting. It really was. And then watching them on TV, obviously with what I do, you know, I have a lot of, you know, reason to watch baseball. But yeah, man, they go so damn quick. It's crazy. We had a bunch more people join. So let me show you what we got. Everybody, just so you're aware. And I'll go back and pick a winner for that first card. So what we're doing is we have that link right there, dugoutmugs.com/Wade Boggs. We have autographed mugs by Wade. We did a collaboration with him. These things are super cool. There are very few of them. So if you want one, get one at that link. So go do that. But let me find a winner and let's give something away because that's always fun. It was 118, so I saw a lot of the right answers. Google really helped a lot of y'all out because the answers were not right at first. Let me see if I can find a name I haven't really seen. How about Lou?
There you go.
Lou?
Congratulations, Lou.
Boutco. What's up, Lou? You got an autograph card coming your way, dude. The celebration card. Actually, I love this one, by the way. Old school stadium club. This is 30 years old, this card. So it's autographed too. Lou, DM the page and say, hey, I won the autograph card of the celebration. I'm putting your name on it right now, my man. So you got that on the way. Let's slip over and find some more questions. Oh, here's one. You know, well, for many reasons, this is not controversial, but a different answer from everybody. Who is not in the Hall of Fame but should be, as a Hall of Famer? Your perspective. A lot of people talk about the Barrys and the Petes and the things like that. But then is Palmeiro? I don't think he's in. But who is not but should be in your opinion?
Well, the crazy part about who should be in, who shouldn't be in, and is the guys that were quote unquote the steroid guys that were linked to the steroid guys. But with that said, I've always been a huge fan of Tommy John. When you go back and look at Tommy John's stats, they warrant the Hall of Fame, and there are plenty of players that you know. I'm not talking first ballot Hall of Famers or various things like that, but guys that had unbelievable years, and I mean we could go through the guys that got hurt and you know they would have been Hall of Famers or various things like that had they played a few more years of their career, but they got hurt. And not saying that it takes longevity in order to make it to the Hall of Fame, but longevity and throwing up a lot of big numbers, and that's the big thing. I mean, we try to stay away from the Hall of Very Good, and so I mean when you look at
consistency, how do you be good consistently? It's so important.
Well, I think it's rather than be good consistently, it's being great consistently. When you look at how many guys that have put on a major league uniform, over 20,000, and there are 278 players in the Hall of Fame, less than 1% are in the or Hall of Fame caliber players. And you know, whether it's an era that they were in or what have you. You know, that Sunday dinner with all the Hall of Famers in the room, 57, 58, 59 Hall of Famers. I'm telling you, you get a lot of goosebumps when you look around the room and go, oh my gosh, I'm part of it. It's pretty cool. It really is.
I bet. Well, I mean, and that is reserved for you guys. The closest I've come to that experience was I was at Reggie Jackson's event a couple months ago down at the Floridian, whatever that beautiful golf course is that Jim Crane owns. I was down there, and in the room, the table next to me, it was, oh God, it was I can't even think off the top of my head, but I mean, 40, 50 different legends of the game were just all through there. I mean, Reggie was there. Mike Schmidt was one of them. Andre Dawson was sitting like 2 chairs away from me. But again, like you sit there and it's like, man, this is, I could imagine what 60 Hall of Famers all in one room, even as a Hall of Famer yourself, that's a hell of an experience, man.
It's pretty breathtaking. It really is, especially
Yeah.
for first. when I had 60 Hall of Famers, and you look around at Stan Musial and Willie McCovey and Willie Mays and Sandy Koufax and Whitey Ford and Yogi Berra, and you're just going, oh my gosh, what in the heck is going on? And just to be a part of that is just such an honor and such a thrill.
That's awesome, man. And I want to rewind back to like when it started, because I shared a story with you when I was at your house. And so I'm from Winter Haven. You know Winter Haven very well.
Very well.
Very well. And for those who don't know Winter Haven, it's middle Florida, and that's where the Red Sox did their spring training for a long time, and the Indians did after that, right? Yeah,
right.
after.
Right.
And I remember, I don't remember what restaurant it was, but I met you. Right, you were just coming up, and like, super awesome guy. And it's funny to see this all come full circle. And you were like, "Yeah, I would go to the game." And you said your guy, your helper that was there, he would have the bass boat fueled up and beers ready to go hit the chain.
Oh yeah. I'd play my 5 innings, and I'd head over to the marina and hit the chain of lakes, and bass boat would be ready, and it was me and Mike Greenwell. We'd sit there and we'd be in the car and to the bass boat, and it was good duty fishing the chain of lakes. We caught a lot of bass.
Well, what is it? It's like 17 lakes, right? I don't even remember the number, but it's like 17 lakes that are all connected, and it is one hell of a good time.
Yeah, Cypress Gardens. We'd go by and watch the shows, but it was good duty.
That's awesome, man. All right, let's get into a couple more of these. I want to get through the questions. I want to keep you too terribly long, man. Let's talk about this is a question we ask everybody. Kids are the future of the game, right? Without them and without bringing them up the right way, the game's going to have some problems, right? What is some advice that you would give kids? Because we got have a lot of moms and a lot of dads and a lot of baseball parents that, are customers of ours and followers of ours. If they have kids in the game, what do you think some of the best advice you could offer to some young players is?
Put down the Nintendo and go find a vacant lot, play some wiffle ball.
Get outside.
Get outside and play some wiffle ball, and see the ball moving. Everybody has this thing about nowadays is the Nintendo generation, the eye-hand coordination about guys swinging and missing all the time. The older generation didn't have that because we had stick ball and cork ball and wiffle ball and various things like this. And we'd go out and find a vacant lot and have a pickup game of Sandlot. And nowadays you go by a vacant lot and it's a vacant lot. So, put down that Nintendo for about an hour and a half a day and go out and have some fun and get you a yellow bat with a white ball and play some wiffle ball.
So you mentioned Sandlot. Is that it's one of my favorite movies, right? Like, especially baseball movies. And we had a really cool experience meeting with David Mickey Evans, the writer, director, narrator, hung out with him at a beach bar all day, no shoes on, filming. It was incredible. But like is that one of your favorite baseball movies? Do you have a favorite baseball movie?
Field of Dreams.
Okay.
That's one of them. But Sandlot, I know the characters and the cast very well. I've done various card shows with them and
nice,
and hung out with them and so Shano lives right here in Brandon. One of the
yes.
The characters, he lives right here in Brandon. So great bunch of guys. But
you know David then, DME?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I love that guy. I had so much fun hanging out with him. Like, what a salt of the earth guy that guy is.
Oh yeah, you're killing me, Smalls.
Oh man, hearing his story, I'll have to send you some videos when you get some time. Check it out. But we got a half hour of just video of like stories behind the scenes and like how when he did Radio Flyer and like all the stuff that David was doing. And he gave the fake tree. The whole tree was fake with a million little leaves glued to it. Just cool stuff like that.
Wow.
It was a hell of a day. We had a lot of fun talking about just all that kind of stuff. Let's see. A couple of these questions we kind of just talked about. Well, let's give away another. Let's do that. Which question do I want to ask? All right, I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna pick again from the right answers, and maybe someone's gonna be lucky as Lou. Where did Wade Boggs go to high school? So let's start throwing some answers in there. I'm gonna double check, make sure we didn't miss anything, and then we're gonna talk about this this legendary plane flight with the beers that got you on Sunny in Philadelphia and all this kind of stuff. Because apparently there's a lot of Sunny fans.
Great show.
It is. It really is. I never really watched it, right? And then I watched a few of them, and some of the cast members are just awesome. Yeah, we covered most of this stuff, a lot of the stuff that the fans were asking. All right, so where did Wade Boggs go to high school? Throw a bunch of comments, and don't forget to be sharing on all the platforms. Share, because I'm going to pick a couple of people to get some autographed rookie cards. These two sweethearts right here.
Uh-oh. Here we
right
go.
There. We're getting those out.
Don't miss out on those.
No, you don't want to do that. And they are primo condition. Let me see here. All right. Got a few people in there. Ellen Wood, Plant High School.
Congratulations,
Ellen Wood, you just won. Ellen Wood right there. Autograph Wade Boggs coming your way. Be sure to send us a DM. Let me get your name down because we get a lot of messages. Ellen Wood. All right, let's get into it because I know I got a lot of questions. So what's the story? What's the story about this plane flight and the incredible amount of beers? And is it accurate? Is it true? What's the deal?
Well, it's the myth. It's the the legendary story of how many beers were consumed from Boston to LA. And we're playing blackjack on the plane, and me and a few other players. And I think we had just passed Nebraska or somewhere like that. And one of the players had said, Boggsy, he says, I think you're on your 45th beer. And I guess he was counting for some silly reason. I was drinking and dealing and actually winning. So it was kind of one of those happy plane flights where you didn't lose all your meal money on one plane flight. And then finally we're getting ready to land in LA, and he says, "Oh my God, Boggsy," he says, I think you're 71 right now." And then I had a couple more before we landed, so the record's 73 from Boston.
73.
And then Always Sunny wrote a script about that plane flight, and the cast and characters tried to duplicate it and did a phenomenal job. They were hilarious and went out to LA to film the episode, and it was they couldn't have been any nicer and so gracious.
That's cool. All right, so the story from the source is 73 from Boston to LA, which is still incredible. You're like, oh, it's 100. Yeah. I'm like 100. Like I could put down a lot of beers. You know, from the South. I spent a lot of time at the beach, you know, in the pools, things like that. I could probably do 20 to 25 and still be fairly well, depending on the beer, of course. But like, Jesus, man, 73.
Well, next day
you belong in the Hall of Fame and the Beer Hall of Fame too.
The next day we had to face Mark Langston, and I wound up going 2 for 3 with 2 walks off of him, 2 doubles. So
2 doubles and 2 walks. Were the walks because you just couldn't see the ball coming in, and they just
no, actually they were 8 or 9 pitch walks, fouling off ball and working the count to 3-2, and then eventually getting a walk. And
that's wild.
it was a good day.
That's all. We had I had Boomer on. You played with him, right?
Oh yeah, in New York.
Yeah. So you know, he's got some fun stories when he threw his no-hitter 20 years ago now, I guess. Yeah, that hey, I guess when you're good, you're good.
There you go.
You know, you come out the other side of it and you're just ready to go.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
All right. Well, listen, you promised me a half hour and I've eaten up every second of it. Everybody continue commenting. We'll give away some more stuff. We're going to have some fun. I encourage you to go to the link, dugoutmugs.com/Wade Boggs. We have the autograph mugs. I've already seen a handful of sales come in. So we had less than when we started this call, but these right here are available. Get them. Also, Mother's Day, Father's Day is coming up. We have the bottle openers. We have the shot glasses. We have all the standard bat mugs. We got a lot of cool stuff, and we know a lot of cool people, and they're willing to come spend some time with us on a Tuesday, my man. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Chris, my pleasure.
Hey, man, if you need anything from me, you know where I'm at. Maybe we'll circle around and do this again sometime.
Good deal.
But in the meantime, cheers, Paps.
Cheers.
Good looking out. We're going to enjoy your beers tonight, and I'll talk to you soon.
Good deal. Okay, Chris, have a good night.
Later. Bye.
All right.